Yeah. I think my nail just fell off. Fuck, it hurts. This one is called Orange too. When I get home from a hard day at the mill, and all I see is a pile of bills. Would it kill you to have a hot meal on my plate in a 601? Don't be late. I love you, pretty baby.
Hello. Excuse me. Sorry, that was poor timing. Welcome to the Frankfort Report. I'm Darryl Frankfort, and today is April the 23rd, 2025. What's happening? Welcome to the show. What the hell's going on out there today? I don't know. I was busy all day in meetings, in traffic. Oh my God, the city is horrendous. Part of the problem with working from the northern tip of the city is that when you have to go anywhere, it takes fucking forever. What is going on in this city? How many public servants do we need employed? Because I don't know what I'm trying to say. How many people do we need to employ in the government for them to figure out traffic? Like, don't you think if you let one of these AI loose on traffic that they would figure it out by now? Don't you think autonomous driving cars solves all that? I don't even know why I'm talking about this. We got big problems, everybody. Big problems, everybody. We have big fucking problems, everybody. Because it does not look good for the conservative folks, at least in the news. It does not look good. Now, there seems to be a plethora of support for Mr. Carney right now. It almost seems like, depending on what you're looking at, like this son of a bitch is actually going to win. Now, why do I say that? Because I want to? No, not because I want to. I don't want to say this. I thought Pierre was a landslide. I thought we were going to have everybody on the same page finally because of the train wreck that was Justin Trudeau and Canada. But no, instead, what do we get? We get all kinds of shit, really, is the best way to describe it. How better to describe it than all kinds of shit, friends? I mean, let's be realistic. We have no GDP per capita. We have all kinds of crazy shit going on our streets all the time. Protests, tent cities, people are broke. Buildings aren't getting built. Houses aren't getting built. People are going bankrupt. There's a house around the corner from me that went power of sale that I don't understand. I'm going to have to do some digging into this thing because it's a shithole. It's a real shithole. And I got to look into how that thing ended up as a power of sale. But there's all kinds of weird, crazy crap going on, and we're going to try and get to the bottom of it. But it seems like the be-all and end-all and the worst possible scenario could come true. All these millions. I saw something that said like 7.4 million people went out to do advanced voting already. And all I see is people arguing at pencils and Sharpies and pens. Oh my, right? No, but seriously, I don't know. Pencils worked back in the day when we had the tests where we had to fill out the multiple choice. Remember that? Do they still do that? It seemed to work okay then. But there was nobody that had a vested interest to rip up, erase, cross out, throw out, burn the answers, right? They just wanted to give you back your grade. Now you have a vested interest, like trillions of dollars worth of vested interest in making sure that the election goes a certain way. Right? Because there's all kinds of money to be made if you know what's about to happen next, or if you pull the strings, let's say, right? So this Carney dude, he's a up and up, man. This guy is deep. This Carney is balls deep in all kinds of crazy stuff. Crazy stuff, okay? Mark Carney he's not just a World Economic Forum puppet, I have a feeling. I have a feeling he is a higher up than puppet. And I don't know where you got to be considered puppet. I'm pretty sure Justin Trudeau was a puppet. I'm pretty sure they're bringing out the big guns now with this Carney guy. Right? I think he's like a clean-upper, a cleaner upperer, right? He's one of those guys that you bring him in when you need a job to get done. When nobody else is willing to do the job, when the job is so dirty, you bring in the cleaner. Mark Carney, the cleaner, from the banking cartel, no doubt, right? From the banking cartels. You think you got to worry about the drug cartels, do you? Well, I'd focus more on the banking cartel, or the Bank of Canada, Federal Reserve. Like, we can get crazy here and start talking about the Vatican, but we won't go there right now. Anyways, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. It was fun. Have a good day. I'll talk to you soon. Adios.
Hey, yeah. I think my nail just fell off.
Okay, just kidding. Let's see. Who's here today? D-Man is here. Charlotte, Sheridan Forbes, D-Man, Chris McGilvery, Boo-Hoo, Dina Gallus, Charlotte, again, Boo-Hoo, Kevin, Mr. Potato Head. Okay. We got some people asking questions. Thank you, all of you, for being here, because that's awfully amazing of you. Even though I'm hoping you're freaked out by my title. I'm hoping you're freaked out by my thumbnail. Are you freaked out by my thumbnail? What are your thoughts on Alberta separation, says Mr. Potato Head. Good question, Mr. Potato Head. My thoughts on Alberta separation is like, fine, go, but leave the oil, okay? Leave the energy, because it's not yours. And I don't give a shit what anybody says or how dumb everybody thinks I am for saying this. I don't care where you are. It's not yours. It's yours to pull out of the ground. It's yours to manage for the rest of us. It's yours to make sure that things go smoothly out that way. But it's not yours. It's ours. And you should treat it that way. And if you want to leave, go ahead. But leave the shit that we need, because it's not yours. That's what I think about Alberta separating. How do you feel about that, Mr. Potato Head? Tell me. I'd like to know. He should replace Klaus. Who should replace Klaus? Klaus, it says here. So maybe you're not even talking. Didn't Klaus get the boot from the World Economic Forum just recently? Did I read that? Is that a thing? Check this out, people. 33% of Alberta wants to leave. How much of Ontario? I mean, everybody I talk to is talking about leaving too. So big fucking deal. Who leaves? No one leaves. Hell with Carney. Charlottetown, my family in Red Deer wants out. Okay, do not pick up. What do you mean, okay, do not pick up? Are you calling in? Okay, give me a sec. I'm going to tell you when to call in. I apologize. My ringer is off and I didn't notice. But call in soon. I'll give you a cue. We're not quite there yet. Okay, we're not quite there yet. Give me a few more minutes, Charlotte. I appreciate the support. I do appreciate the support. I really do. But give me a few minutes because I got to get ready. I got to stretch because you're going to call on the phone, which means I got to hold up the speakerphone the whole time. I really should find something that is the right height that can hold up the speakerphone for me. There's got to be a thing around here somewhere. I'm sure that there is. Where is it is the question. There's a tripod right there. I got my eye on a tripod. I don't know if that's going to do the trick. Anyways, I should set up a separate mic for the phone, and then that would be amazing. I should do that. I should get my son to help me do that, the superstar. If you don't sub to this thing yet, I mean, it's kind of rude, I got to say. But here, let's talk about Mr. Carney and what's going on right now. Because if you look at this tweet, you are going to possibly lose your poop. Oopsie doopsie, it says. Poly markets, which our friend Jason Jacobson made pretty clear, and we can check it out together, actually. We should check that out. There's not very much trading on poly markets with regards to this. We already got it in the memory. Okay, so what are we seeing? This is not good. Actually, look at how many people are betting their hard-earned money. So hold on a sec. Mark Carney, 16 million volume. Okay, 16.6. Look at all these sixes. 1, 2, 3. There's another one, but we'll ignore those. There's 3 sixes in a row here, guys. What do you think about that? Does that trouble anybody else, or is it just me? Is this troubling to you? I feel like it should be. But anyways, we'll ignore that for now. We'll ignore the fact that there's 666 in the volume number for the bets that Mark Carney will win the prime minister on poly market. So 82% think that Mark Carney is going to win. And the trading volume is low. Although $16 million, are people fucking retarded? Who the hell is betting? And who especially is betting for Mark Carney? Now, Pierre Poilievre has like almost, let's say, an extra, I don't know, he's like 180% of the trading volume compared to Mark Carney. And he's at 17%. So what does that mean? How does that work exactly? Is this reliable? What does that mean? Oh, there's yes trades and no trades. There's bids and okay. Anyways, poly markets, that's what they're showing. That's what this dude, Dean Blundell, is showing here, is that look at all the red. How is this the only blue? Everybody I know, not everybody, because we talked about it the other day. I do have a friend who's a liberal, and that means I know more people that are probably liberal now that Carney, this smooth talking son of a bitch, now people are back on the liberal bandwagon. They're back to being lifers of liberals for life. We're fucked, everybody. We're fucked. I have a feeling that we are fucked. Okay. I have a feeling that we are totally fucked on this one. And now, Charlotte, would be a wonderful time for you to call in. Okay. Oh, it says Jason Jacobson. That's not good. But Charlotte, now would be a wonderful.
Hey, yeah. I think my nail.
I did that by accident. Sorry about that. I keep doing that. So I have the worst memory of all time. I don't know why. I don't know why I screw with things to begin with, to be honest with you. But if you want to WhatsApp me or you want to call in, there's the number right there on your screen. It'll be fun. It'll be cool. Charlotte, it's time. If you want to call in, I am waiting for your call because we got to figure this out, guys. How are we going to make sure that they don't steal this election? Okay? Do you think you conservative will get minority? Oh, Kevin's a liberal. Hey, Kevin, I did. What the fuck, says Kevin. Kevin, Pierre will win. It's easy money, says Sheridan Forbes. Really? I don't think so anymore. There's some fucking mental people. Okay, here we go. We got a caller, everybody. Charlotte's on the line. Hello, Charlotte.
Bonjour, comment ça va, monsieur?
What? What'd you say?
I said, bonjour, comment ça va? How are you doing?
All right. What's going on?
So, I'm praying that we get at least a very minority government and that maybe Yves Francois and Pierre will make a coalition.
Hold on. What are you saying? That you think that the liberals are going to win? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm praying that we have a minority conservative government.
Minority?
And yeah, and at the very least, and that the Bloc Québécois, Yves Francois, and Pierre work together because Yves Francois despises and thinks that Carney is nothing but a crook. You can tell he does not like Carney. He thinks he's not here for the right reason.
Well, I mean, join the club, right?
Yeah, but you can't fix stupid. You know, in order to vote in this election, you should be mandatory that you look up Bill C-39, Bill C-37, Bill C-75, Bill C-11, Bill C-293 that didn't pass, Bill C-63 that didn't pass but will be brought back because Carney's already said he's going to bring it back.
What's on that bill?
Bill 63?
Yeah.
Well, good luck to podcasts that don't have the same views as the government. They're going to shut them down. We'll all end up in jail, just like Great Britain. You want to know what your future is? Better look at Great Britain right now. They're nearly bankrupt, number one. And number two, they're throwing even children for Facebook posts because it goes against the government's, what do you call it, narrative. So they're throwing children, old age people, anybody who goes against the government narrative, they're throwing them in jail.
In jail? Where's this happening?
Great Britain.
Oh, Great Britain. Yeah. I see people like for Facebook posts, they're going to jail.
Yeah. So unless you're somebody like J.K. Rowland who can fight the government, good luck. You're going to lose everything.
Well, I mean, so maybe I'm in a little bubble here, and it seems like most of the people in the chat are on the conservative side. And I mean, if you look in the comments section on the videos that we put out on this channel, there's a lot of support for liberals. There's a lot of support for conservatives. When I walk the dog around the corner, I unfortunately see a bunch of red signs around here. I think I see more blue signs, but it's truly becoming staggering the amount of support there seems to be for the Liberal Party.
There is a candidate that is a Liberal, and I want to say Hamilton, but I'm not 100% sure, that is putting somewhere in Ontario. It's the western portion of Ontario.
That's
where they're
what
putting
they're doing
on people's lawns and leaving them with signs and say, "Oh, I'm sorry if you didn't order that sign. We'll come and get it."
Mm-hmm. They're putting big signs up too. Crazy
know.
big signs.
In Charlottetown right now, we have a sign by our idiot, murderous MP who voted for C-37 that has killed 50,000 Canadians, including my mother, who is hooked on drugs, saying, "Oh, say CBC. Oh, we need to have CBC." Yeah, sure. They're not going anywhere. Just not my money. Thank you.
Hold on a sec. What are you talking about? Actual murder or like through policy?
Through policy.
You sort of hear about your mother. What happened?
It is what it is. She's in a much better place. She's not in pain, and she's not taking opioids anymore.
Opioid? Part of the opioid crisis?
Yeah. It's mind-boggling. We have children that are taking these dillies.
What's that?
Dilly? Dilly
Yeah.
is the drug that the government is paying for that we pay for in our tax dollars.
What do you mean?
You'll have to look it up. I can't pronounce it. I'm too frustrated. But it's the drug that they'll go and get at the pharmacy, the pill, and they don't want it, and so they'll turn around and give it to children or sell it to children, and they'll go and get their fentanyl, the drug use.
Is this a real thing? This is a real thing? Dillies, it's called?
Yeah, it's a real thing. It's an absolute real thing. I can send you stuff on it privately.
Please do. Street name, dust, juice, dillies, smack, D, footballs, introduction. Hydromorphone is a potent Schedule 2. So what is it? It's morphine?
Yeah. Well, actually, it's very strong. Yeah. We have kids here in middle school and high school that are hooked on that. We had, I think BC just had a 6 or 8-year-old just die of that overdose. This is what this government has done. They don't care about their people. It's annoying.
Isn't it crazy?
Isn't it crazy? I am a liberal. I voted with my son, did the happy dance on Saturday, voted Conservative. First time in my entire life, in 40 years of being allowed to vote. And no, I'm not a boomer, D-money or dumb money.
You're not a boomer?
Not a boomer.
Not a boomer? You just made it under the edge there, under the line, under the door?
Yeah, you and I are exes.
Indiana Jones, just grab your hat just under the bar?
Yeah. You and I are the sandwich generation.
Are we the same age?
No, I'm older than you, my friend.
Okay. So, but I mean, there's not much room between me and boomer, so you must just be on the cusp. But regardless of you not being a boomer, isn't it, you've been a Canadian forever, right? And isn't it...
Born in Ontario, raised in Quebec. I live in PEI now.
Right? And so isn't it absolutely insane, like what is going on around us in this country right now? And I mean, I don't know who the hell couldn't see such a drastic difference in the last like 9-10 years. Okay. And like, maybe it's been declining for longer than that, but I'm telling you, you didn't have to worry about things 10 years ago. Like, it was not like this. We didn't have all these big fucking problems going on, at least in Canada, or we were super sheltered from it. You know, it wasn't center stage like it is now. And how did it get like this? And how in the fucking world is it possible that there is a way to manipulate people enough that they don't even realize what happened over the last few years, and that they're willing to vote for the same fucking team? Not just the same party, okay? It's not just the same party or the same color. It's like all the same people, too.
Oh, I know. So here's my thought.
Yeah.
I'm not highly educated. I have high school, and I have 2 certificates with honors from college.
Okay. Well done.
I went to school in the 90s. I got my certification in fire safety, fire protection. But with that being said, I am not indoctrinated into the school system. And I think anybody who is not highly educated can see through the bullshit. Anybody who is being indoctrinated through the system right now cannot see through their own eyes. They can't see because they've been taught to believe the bullshit. So I think that's really where it is. I think, to be honest with you, Trudeau wasn't as bad as he has been since the pandemic, and that is the influence more and more of Carney, who is the puppeteer. And the other issue here is, and one of your guests from the Real Canadian Real Estate Show said it very bluntly, and I can't remember, he wore the hat, Century Initiative. This is what has killed this country. We were fine and prior to the pandemic. After the pandemic, the Century 21 or Century Initiative has just kept throwing people on our doorstep. Like they're trying to unstabilize every single Western country.
I don't think they're trying. I think it's a done deal. I think there's a lot of instability all over the place, right? It's a fucking madhouse around here. You want to know? Last night, okay? So yesterday was my baby's 22nd birthday, which is insane.
Congratulations.
Okay, and we went out for dinner. We went downtown. And on the way back, we drove up Yonge Street, okay? And what is the name of Yonge and Dundas Square now? Do you know what we renamed it? I forget. Sanofi Square or something?
But I will never say it will always be Dundas Square. That is how... actually, even before that, it had shops there before they destroyed the shop.
What's the new name for it?
All right. Who cares?
Okay,
I'm not going to... It's always going to be Dundas Square as far as I'm concerned. Ryerson's always going to be Ryerson. I'm never going to say...
Sankofa. Okay, you're getting that ahead, lady. Okay, listen. So I was driving through Sankofa Square, okay, with my family, and one of the kids in the back goes, "Hey, look over there!" And I turn and I go, "Holy shit!" There's this woman dancing around. She was probably on dillies, okay, dancing around with her top off. Nothing underneath the top. So boobs completely out in the middle of the street, dancing around while the rest of the homeless people were standing there watching with their jaws open and eyes wide. And like nobody came and took her away.
Darryl, it's perfectly legal for a woman to dance around with no top on.
That's true. That was part of the conversation, actually. And I actually, just so you know, Charlotte, I brought that up because I know that. But it doesn't mean that it should happen because it's legal. It doesn't mean that it's normal to see in the middle of Toronto. Okay? Now, I suppose if she was far more attractive, it would have been a different story. But these should not have been out in public.
Well, I mean, I agree, but this is what our society, because see, Carney doesn't have to deal with the shit that we have to because we're just plebs.
It's breaking down. It's breaking down. Society's breaking down, and we've got all these crazy MFers ready to vote for the same team again. Like
why not?
What?
I know. And what they don't realize, and I got newsflash for you.
Newsflash.
Already two Liberal MPs have already said we can't guarantee, and more than likely we're bringing back the carbon tax on you people. So thanks for voting for us. And then the next beautiful thing is going to be, I can't convince people to understand this, but they're coming after your home equity and my home equity. And I scraped and saved to buy a house for my 20-year-old. He has a house of his own. Why? Because I knew how hard it was going to be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody has to wake up to that fact now, because if you don't have help from somebody and you're just trying to one, pay for the bills, two, have a place to live, and three, save at the end of that. What kind of life are you having? Or how are you making your money if you're a young person? Because there's not too many young people that can make the amount of money necessary to live in certain cities anyways. Most cities, quite honestly, buy a place or save up for a place, have some fun, go on some vacations, maybe live a life. Most people are just sitting at home drinking beer, smoking dillies, and watching CNN getting all fucking crazy.
Well, I couldn't afford to live in Durham, so I left Durham, and it was the best decision I ever made was get the hell out of Ontario. I would have been bankrupt a long time ago. Not because of what's happening, just because I couldn't afford to live there. It was ridiculous even when I left.
Well, and look, so you escaped the city, but you didn't escape the country. And you didn't even really need to escape the country probably back then because there was nothing wrong with it. It was just too expensive. But now it's too expensive. It's fucking freezing. Nothing works. It's all broken. Everything's fucked up. There's fucking crazy people in the streets everywhere. There's people living in tents. There's immigrants coming in getting more money than war veterans for nothing from our government. We're sending money to Zimbabwe for transgender, God knows what. It's a crazy factory. It's a crazy factory.
This is why Pierre needs to get in, because Pierre will stop that. But you know what? Here's the truth about that money.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
We just talked about.
Which money?
The Zimbabwe, for example.
Yeah.
Only half of what we send actually goes to that. The other half is siphoned off to some idiot in the government.
Yeah, probably more than half. Most of that money doesn't make it anywhere. Most of it goes into NGOs and bleeds out through salaries to people, or goes into shell corporations in some other country and bounce to another one and to another one and ends up in some politician's kids' trust fund or some weird shit.
Even what's happening in Ukraine, even Zelensky said, I didn't get half of that money.
Yeah, no.
So he knows that, this stupid war that is being funded and funneled, money is being funneled. This is why this country is going to go bankrupt, because people don't do their research. I think if you're going to elect somebody, you need to do your research. And the only hope that you have, and I have, and the people that are listening to us today, that we have, is the young people to get out and vote. And my son is 20, and he is informing his friends, and they're all blue collar. They're all in unions. They're in the trade, and they're all voting for Pierre. And if we can get the young guys and girls who have a brain, because not all the girls do. I mean, I'm not talking about your daughter, but I'm talking about the ones that are in education, to get them to understand, if you want a future, it is not with a liberal government who doesn't give a two hoots about you. It is going to be, to stop the bleeding, has to be a conservative government. That is the only way we can stop this from happening.
I think
people are always mad about Trump. You know what? At least Trump has stopped the bleeding, and maybe you can be mad with what's happening with Trump, but he's not our cause. What the problem is here, he's trying to close his borders, just like we should be wanting to close our borders. And it's not being prejudiced. It's actually about fixing the issues. You cannot keep bringing people in. Where are they going other than 50 freaking people in one house? There's no health care for them. There's no health care for us. I'm on a 10-year waiting list.
For what?
It's ridiculous. I'm on a 10 where my son and I are on a 10-year waiting list to get a doctor.
For a doctor. This is craziness. Okay, listen, Charlotte, you are the best caller of all time. I got another caller here. Okay, I got to take it. Thank you. Let's talk again soon. Well done. You are definitely voted best caller of all time. Charlottetown in the house. She is gone. And now we are lucky enough to have Ben Gom, the architect, the famous architect from Sweden.
You mean the famous angry architect? And wait a second.
The
I
famous
thought that
angry
was the
architect.
best color of all time.
Well, I mean, it's up for grabs again, but she was on fire, bro. You're gonna have to get fired up.
She was on fire.
She was
Oh
on
my God.
fire.
Yeah, and I just sort of caught the tail end of her, but I'm pretty sure I agree with everything that she was saying.
Yeah, she's on to something, and maybe on something. Hold on, Ben, the angry architect.
Yeah.
Can I did I spell it right? Is it there? There we go. Ben, the angry architect. Okay, what are you angry about today, Ben?
Oh, I think I'm just exhausted from being angry. I think I was telling you the other day how shocked I was, completely shocked that.
About our buddy across the table?
Well, yeah, but that was just one of, I'd say, 20 or 30 people that I've talked to in the last 2 weeks, and every one of them was a very successful, very intelligent person, and
Yeah.
every single one of them, other than you and me and our good friend Jay,
Yeah.
is voting liberal because they think that, like, yeah, no, we agree that Trudeau is horrible, but Carney's going to change things. Or they say, we really think that Carney's going to change things. So they're willing to go with a think. We think he's going to change things. We don't think he's going to lie and do something like the second that he gets elected, push the carbon tax back up to not zero, or as soon as he gets in, our gas prices will go right back up to 150 instead of the 125 it's been for the last 2 or 3 weeks, because that's a great political campaign ploy.
Yeah, good timing for that.
But these are intelligent people that I hang out with and associate with because, they're really with it and they're successful in the whole thing. And somehow they've completely blacked out the fact that the last 10 years was just a massive shit show.
Isn't it crazy? How do they do that? How do you?
I don't know. I think because they're sort of looking at it as, look, if you took your position 10 years ago, right? So,
which I did.
You're 40 years. Right. So it's like if anybody sort of took their own personal position 10 years ago, okay, in 10 years, you can get a couple promotions, you're making more money. So it could be clouded as, well, I'm doing better now than I was 10 years ago. But they're not looking at the whole package saying, yeah, 10 years ago, you bought your house for $500,000 and now that same house is worth 1.4 million. Like,
Right.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that anymore. Well, I don't have to buy a house anymore. So, it doesn't really affect me. It's like, yeah, but it affects your kids. And especially almost every single person that I'm talking about, they all have kids that are either going into university or just graduating university or graduated last year or 2 years ago, and they're getting to that age where, like, how the hell are they going to afford anything? A house, car payments, groceries. Like, these are kids who haven't even gotten into life yet, and these people don't seem to give a shit at all.
And what's weird is that, like, it's the big issue. I don't know if we talked about it or I talked about it with somebody else the other night. Is like these kids. Okay, so like our parents had their lifestyle. We got used to that, whatever that was. And then our job was kind of like to keep that up at a minimum and hopefully do better, right? And our parents seemed to be in that game with us. They were trying to help us do better than them, right? And now it's like it's like a free for all. It's like it doesn't even matter anymore. It's so far out of whack that it's like now you have to either like pay for a house for them, okay? Because I was saying at the beginning of the show, how do you make enough money now as a young person and have some kind of a life, go out for fun, maybe go on a vacation and like live a life and save a down payment for a goddamn house, right? It's like the math doesn't math anymore. But what's crazy, like when we went for dinner the other night, and I mean, I love him, but I couldn't believe that there's really people out there, right? And so my eyes opened up because I thought all the liberal people were like just old and fake, right? or so
Yeah.
set in their ways that like it didn't even matter. It was like it doesn't matter they don't even know what's going on around them. They just know that they have to vote liberal or conservative. But then when like you're saying, young smart guys are like, yeah, like this makes sense to me. Like look at and then quite honestly, I can even make some if I look at it at a surface level, like Carney looks okay, right? He looks like if you follow the narrative that they're spinning, you can
Yeah.
understand why people are fucking dumb and they're falling for it. And so it's
Yeah,
like,
no, you're exactly right. Like, and I tell our buddy Jay, and he freaks out when I say this, but I'm just trying to put it in a context of like, if I was just sort of coming in, say, from a visitor from another planet or another country, and I was looking at how the liberals, like, they went from the worst party in the world, you know, continuing to back this total buffoon for 9 years.
how did that even
And
happen?
and before Carney, it looked like, wow, they've not only are they going to lose, they've driven this party down into the ground. They're done as a party, let alone not going to get elected. Somehow they they've pulled off like the greatest campaign maybe I've ever seen. It's insane. Like the turnaround, it was like a 25, 26, 27 point swing.
I
And as
thought it
soon as
was
Carney gets
more.
elected, maybe it was more. I mean, it's
I
just
feel
like
like
that's
Polyev
enough
was
to be
like
in.
90% at one point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is crazy what they've been able to pull off. And again, the majority of these people that I'm talking about, they're not hardcore leftists. They're most of them would consider themselves centrists. So I sort of get it in the sense that Carney, you know, really is I guess a centrist. He's a lot more centrist than he is, full left wing. I guess for most things. I guess in terms of the environment and stuff, I think he's still very, very far left. But I don't know. I don't know. I think people really, you know, people mostly just don't like. Most of these people are saying, "I'm voting for the person, not the party," which is really stupid because
The party, not the person, or the person, not the party?
they're saying they're voting for the person, not the party. And my argument to that is,
Bullshit.
okay, well, did you vote for Justin Trudeau in any of the three elections that he won? Because if that's your philosophy, you vote for the person, not the party, then you're a moron because you're voting for someone potentially three times that had no business being in, and the person we're talking about that we went for dinner with, his wife happens to be a drama teacher. And this isn't a knock against drama teachers, but
Ah!
but I'm sure she would agree that she has no place in running for the Prime Minister of Canada. Like,
No.
why would she run for the Prime Minister?
Yeah.
That's not. She doesn't have the qualifications. She doesn't have the experience. Like,
Yeah.
so anybody who tells me they typically vote for the person and not the party, and they voted for Trudeau at any point over the last 9-10 years, it's ridiculous, right? So it's a really, I don't know, it's a really hard pill to swallow because I thought it was automatic. I thought it was absolutely automatic. And even if I was a liberal, I don't think any political party should be allowed to be in party for more than 10 years. And that's if they do things fairly well, right? Like, after 9 years of Harper and that government, I wasn't totally opposed to, and he did fine. He didn't destroy the economy. He got us through the 2008 financial crisis. And he didn't destroy the economy. He didn't, Canada was in fairly good shape. And now we look back and know Canada was in really good shape back then. Um, but I wasn't opposed to, you know, let's see what another party can do. I think 10 years is enough for any party who just need to keep changing and need to keep righting the ship back and forth, back and forth.
So
But in this case, when you have a liberal government that's completely shit the bed, and doesn't matter what category you look at, the economy, housing, foreign issues, immigration, whatever, healthcare, whatever it is, they've completely shit the bed. and they shouldn't even be allowed to be in this election, and let alone people actually voting for them. I'm baffled. I can't.
It's
Yeah.
baffling. So Fernando Zili says, my father-in-law had a red sign on his lawn. Easter was an interesting night. LOL. And so imagine, okay, like, because you don't want to think differently about friends and family because of politics, right? And that's, I guess, why people say you don't talk about money or politics, right? Because it makes people fucking mental. And so, you know, you don't want to think differently about these people. And I went for breakfast yesterday with a real estate guy. We were having the same conversation, and it's like, you don't want to think differently about these people, but they gotta be so fucking stupid. What's wrong with these people, right?
Well, that's it. I mean, look, and again, if the situation was, listen, he's been in power for 9 years, and if you're sick of him because he's annoying to look at and listen to, and okay, and you want to, that's one thing. But like, he's destroyed this country on every level. Like, whatever metric, I don't know how you defend any metric of what this Liberal government has done, and that's not even including the list of controversies and the blackface and the scandals and like all this stuff. And he was able to just power, and elude all these things. And it's like, I can't believe it. These liberals, these liberals are the same people who like completely will rip on, and rightfully so, like all the stuff about Trump, his womanizing and his this and this, all of his controversies, they'll rip on it, but they'll turn their, they'll turn and look the other way when a liberal or a Democrat is doing the exact same thing. It's unbelievable. It's crazy. They're really not centrist. They think they're centrist, but they're not. And you're right in terms of like how we react to these people. Look, I've told you this a million times. Like, my favorite quote, and someone might correct me on it on the whatever, but Winston Churchill said, if you're in your 20s and you're conservative, you have no heart, and if you're in your 40s and you're liberal, you have no brains. And it's just I think that really rings true in a sense that, like, I think that it rings true a lot more now to these hardcore left and hardcore rights, right? Like, this to the centrists, it doesn't play as well, but these people who are still so hardcore left at this stage of your life, they're sort of like a childlike utopian thing that they think is happening, and they're not living in the real world.
I really need one of them to like explain to me the thought process. See, when we were at dinner, my question, and maybe I should have asked better questions to him, but my interest was in where he got his news from, right? And and I mean, I don't know if you heard that part of the conversation, but it was from like,
no, well, we had a whole thing about it, and he was like, first of all, he said, I'm not even so hardcore about this because I don't have time to do all the research, and he's not into doing all the research, which is fine. I mean, like, most people are like that, right? Sure. But he automatically said that his go-to, and he showed us right there at the table. He was like, the thing that you brought up, the first thing he did was went on to CNN and or Fox to see
New York Times,
or the New York Times. You're like, okay, well, there's, like.
And he's like, why aren't they reporting on it if it's true, is what he said.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, oh.
And that's it, And listen, right, I definitely agree about the media being biased in the whole thing. It's not as some people like to think it is. I really don't. I'm not a huge proponent of this anti-CBC thing. Like, I actually find the CBC pretty centrist, and it's where I get a lot of my information. But I also know that you got to take information just as information, and you have to figure out what it means on your own, right? You have to it's like I was telling our buddy, you know, when I used to do back in the day, I used to go onto CNN and go onto Fox at the exact same time, find the same article and read, and one article will say this is the best thing ever, and the other will like obviously say the exact opposite, and I have to just take the information and try to figure out, okay, what do I think about it? You know, like I'm not going to let Fox or CNN try to tell me whether it's the best or the worst thing ever. I'm going to figure out what the information means. So I'm just trying to get just the information and the facts, not the commentary.
Yeah.
And most people don't do that. I mean, they don't have the time to do that, and they don't have the whatever to do that. And, you know,
Yeah,
but
well, most people don't have the inclination to even want to know about anything. They're very happy not knowing, and quite honestly, they're probably a little bit smarter than us, because when you know this stuff, it doesn't help you, right? When you know this stuff, it makes you fucking mental, and it makes you angry at everybody, and it makes it so you can't.
I mean, no, you're 100% right. There is definitely ignorance is bliss, right? Like if you were to, you know, like look at our buddy Jay. I mean, he used to be a fucking super chill guy,
Right.
And you know, ever since COVID, and you're the same. Ever since you and him started going down the whole vaccine and the whole thing, and the more you started to, first of all, you're getting reactions from people that are turning you negative, because it's all negative reactions literally towards you. And then when you start to see these same liberal publications start to publish that, oh, you know what, we're now seeing reports that this vaccine actually is bad, or this is like, yeah, well, what the fuck, I've been saying that all along. And so there's a frustration to it. And yeah, most people just don't have the stomach or the energy to do that. You know, most people just want to bury their heads in the sand and live their life. And it's like, you know, that's it. If I can make my mortgage payments, it's harder now, but if I can just do it and live my life, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm finding most people, their biggest argument was, again, it's sort of a red versus blue argument, right? So their biggest argument was they sort of associate Pierre Poilievre with a Trump-like approach, right? So, you know, because he was the opposition, all he did for the last 4 years was just rip on Trudeau and rip on the Liberals and the whole thing. And it wasn't really,
It was a
you know, it wasn't
comedy
his place to come up.
sketch.
It wasn't his place to come up with policy. So he became known as that's what he was known as, right? So, and it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And
It won over a lot of people, though, like him.
Yeah, and
that's
I mean,
what
I've
I
had
was
people,
saying.
I've had people tell me, well, Poilievre is a career politician, and I don't want a career politician in politics. I want someone who actually has been out there in the working world and knows, and he's an economist and he's brilliant. And I have another buddy who told me, oh, I just read Carney's book, and it's like, man, it's crazy. I mean, he's a brilliant economist. It's all about like the history of capitalism and the economy and the global economy. And so they see him as a brilliant guy, which I don't think you can deny. They see him as a little bit older and wiser than Pierre Poilievre. Yeah, and that's what they're going on. At the end of the day, they're like, I'd rather have this guy represent me to foreign, you know, in foreign situations than Pierre Poilievre. I think Pierre Poilievre is a bit of a Trump, and so I mean, so that's what they're going on, right? They're putting way more weight on that than than what the Liberal Party has done to us, not even for us, to us over the last 9 years.
I don't listen. Poilievre, I think, was the right guy to take over from Trudeau, because it was just so obvious that it could be anybody but Trudeau. And he was witty and charming and funny and entertaining on the parliamentary floor when he had all that ammo to hit people with, right? And all that stupidity to fight in public on behalf of all the people that, you know, thought everything was stupid. But then you took that forum away from him, right? That platform away. And now he's just up there begging people for votes, trying not to offend people. You know, he's being a politician. And what happened is he lost it. He wasn't the right guy for the job before. He was the better option out of the two by a landslide. But now you bring in somebody who, you know, can seem like a really good option for all the people that are out there that just don't want to do the research, don't really give a fuck, see like an old
Yeah.
guy who seems okay. And it's like, I'm liberal, so here we go. They don't even know that liberal isn't liberal anymore. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the person I blame for that the absolute most is Jughead Singh, right? Like so Jughead could have forced an election like a year ago and
Yeah,
then
he's a
6 months ago.
bastard.
Like he really should have. You know, this guy speaks out of, you know, all four sides of his head, and it's so obnoxious, and he's so transparent, and he's fucking with, you know, the livelihood of everybody, and you know, I mean, on every level. I mean, just the fact that he pushed it just to the exact point where he was able to get his full pension, like all of this stuff. But the reality is, they knew that Polyev, like he was supposed to go up against Trudeau in an election, and the Liberals, I mean, God bless them, they were way smarter. They
Genius.
knew
Genius
they
level.
knew that, like, we have this guy, and it didn't matter, even to the point where, you know, they were disallowing, you know, they kicked out the two representatives who were potentially going to run against him. Not that
They
they
were
would
gonna
have.
beat him. No way. They
They
were gonna
weren't.
beat him for sure.
Who
That
knows? I don't think they were.
that
I don't think
Chandra
they were.
dude, I would have voted for
Yeah.
that guy if he was allowed to still go. Look at all the shenanigans they pulled. Okay, like they closed government, then they
Yeah.
prorogued government, and then
Yeah.
they made people pay 350 grand to run, and then they
Yeah.
kicked them out when they were gonna win, and then they disallowed all the votes that made it so that they won. It's like, what is going on around here? And we're all just walking around like, it's okay.
Well,
He's the
that's good. And
best.
I mean, I was talking to Jay about that, saying, like, I mean, that had to have been at least that had to have been legal on just the most basic level, because how could that not have been legal and then was able to just pass and happen? Like, how did that just happen? How did we just wake up one day and, like, you know, what was it? 1,300, like, how many people voted for the 130 people? I don't know. What was the number of the number of people who actually voted for the Liberal,
Yeah, it was like
for Carney to take over?
151,000 votes or something like that.
Yeah, it's like, it's insane, right? So, like, how does that happen in a full democratic process? How come nobody foresaw that? Like, I don't know. It just seems like the the conservatives just had it in fifth gear, and they were cruising, looking out the driver's side window, and didn't realize on the passenger side that the Liberals were just revving up and coming up behind them, and they just, it's complete blindsided. It's
He
it's
got
a shit show.
complacent. He started like kind of coasting on his laurels, and the
Yeah.
game changed. And he didn't. I'm telling you, whoever the hell is really running the Liberals was a fucking genius with all the moves that they made. And then they copy Poilievre's like whole campaign, and then it's like, oh shit. Now what do I do? He's the prime minister. He just did my whole campaign, right? And now the motherfucker's going to China. He's making deals for like all this gas and oil, and he's going to
Well,
Europe.
you could see it. I mean, the second he became, quote, prime minister, he was
hit the
acting
ground
like a
running.
prime minister. Like,
Yeah.
he hit the ground running. He was down in Mar-a-Lago. He was this. I was like, man, what is stopping? You know, what's stopping
we're
Pierre
fucked.
Poilievre from going down there? And he's like, well, it's a prime ministerial thing to do, and I'm not the prime minister. I'm like, so what? Like, since when are we playing by the rules here? Like, so go down to Mar-a-Lago. You should have been going down there before they even prorogued the government. Like,
Danielle
just go down
Smith
there.
went down there like 8 times,
Danielle
like
Smith
on
went
behalf
down
of
there,
Alberta.
and he loved her,
Sure.
and I'm like, so why is she going down there and Pierre Poilievre isn't going down there? You know, all that he knows for Pierre Poilievre is that he said some bad shit about Trump long enough ago that Trump is like, well, I don't like him because he said bad things about me. So go down and meet him face to face. I don't know. I don't know who's, you know, listen, there's still opportunity for people to do the right thing and for the Conservatives to be voted into power, because
Listen, I mean, this is what it looked like when Kamala was going up against Trump, right? Like they made it seem like Kamala was going to win. And I remember everybody going like, what the fuck is going on right now? There's no way this woman is getting, the guy's got they had to build stadiums beside the stadium that he was having his, what do they call, rallies at, right? Like they had to, right? And she has 8 people, they releasing like AI footage or photos of like fake crowds.
So listen, if there's one thing that there's one thing that I've learned over the last 15 years is that polls are bullshit. Polls couldn't be more bullshit if they tried. Every single poll, I mean, they had Trump down by 1 million, and he decimated in 2016. They had Trudeau down by, I mean, he was even on the charts in his first election, and he won decisively. I'm like, what? I just 2 days ago, the poll said that like he was going to lose by a landslide, and he wins. How does that happen? Who are they talking? How do these polls work? So I started to learn how the pollsters and polls work, and it's all bullshit. It's total biased bullshit. So I don't follow polls anymore. I don't even know why anybody does.
Because they believe them. They don't realize. Most people don't realize how everything is fake. Not just the polls, right? The TV's fake. The movies are fake. The music is fake, right? The government is fake. The banking is fake. The money is fake. Like everything is like this orchestrated show to make sure that we all lose and they all get everything somehow, right? It's an absolute craziness. Okay, I'm hanging up on you. You're the best.
All right.
Angry Ben, the architect. Love you, buddy. We will talk soon.
All right, talk to you later.
That was awesome. Angry Ben, the architect, and Charlottetown, both coming in hot today like crazy people for the best stream guys we've ever had. We had so many people here today. It's unbelievable. And I didn't even get to any of the shit that I wanted to talk about. So, I mean, I thank you guys for that. That was pretty cool. That was fun. I wanted to tell you about my day today because some interesting stuff happened, and maybe nobody gives a shit about that. And maybe we should go through more of this liberals are going to win stuff because it's not looking good. Alberta should become part of the USA. The people of Alberta should vote and make that decision. Piss off with this stuff already. I'm so annoyed with you. Excuse me. I'm so annoyed with you people. But this is how it's looking, and this is how they're making it look. And quite honestly, I don't know if I'm just stupid or if I'm getting that. My spidey senses are tingling, man. I feel like this son of a bitch is actually going to win this thing, and it is scaring the bejeebas out of me, okay? The bejeebas. Okay, let's see what else we got going on here, okay? Let's see. What does this guy, Mark Slapinski, have to say? As Pierre Poilievre inches closer to the Prime Minister's office, radical Muslims have taken it upon themselves to harass people waiting in line for his rallies. Their desperation is showing. Have you had enough of these people's antics? Okay, let's see what is going on here, what we're getting into, and what they're talking about.
Stop hating Jews. You stop hating my friends. They're Jewish.
Stop hating Jews. Hey, look at this guy with the finger. What is going on here? Okay, we've got cameras, which are really just cell phones on gimbals these days, I guess. Everybody's using an Apple iPhone or a Samsung for the news these days. And he's yelling at her, don't hate the Jews. Don't hate my friends. What's going on here? Palestinians. Look at all these Palestinian flags in the background. Okay. I guess, I don't know what she is. She got a thing on her head. That doesn't mean anything, but she got a thing on her head. Let's try this again.
Stop hating Jews. You stop hating my friends. They're Jewish. You're a hater. You're the biggest hater I've ever heard of. Now let me go in there and be with my people.
Go support your
Palestinian Holocaust never again is now. Whoa. I don't like all this Palestinian stuff, Israel stuff. I don't want to get involved. I don't want to say how I feel about this stuff. Palestinians versus this guy, it seems, at the moment.
Go support genocide. Good for you.
Go support genocide. This guy's saying this guy. That guy's famous now.
Terrorist.
Terrorist.
Hey, ma'am, are you celebrating Global Day of Rain?
It's not funny. It's not funny. When you kill my people and my aunts, it's not funny. Are you laughing at my aunts who are being killed in Gaza?
No, I was asking
you're
if
not
are you
human. Nobody here is a human being. All of you are terrorists.
Are you a Canadian citizen?
She's carrying a drum. What? Okay. Now, I feel bad for her that her family member was killed, okay? But, like, this is not what you do, okay? This is not how you do it. This is not where you do it, okay? What does it have to do with the Canadian Prime Minister election, okay? What does the Holocaust in Palestine have to do with voting for Pierre Poilievre? I mean, come on, guys. Honestly, what is happening?
Blood on your hands, all of you.
Oh, he just bumped her. Do you see that? He just bumped her. Bumped her on the drum, bro.
Blood on your hands, all of you.
Oh, he hip checked her. Look at that. Coming in for a hip check.
All of you are terrorists.
Are you a
all of
Canadian
you have
citizen?
blood on your hands, all of you.
Oh, he's trying to antagonize her. Maybe it's a mating ritual. Let's see.
All of these nice people
Excuse
are
me?
terrorists.
Why did you push me? Why did you push me?
She is fucking pissed. Do you think she's really Palestinian? Is she one of these hired actors that's there to cause trouble? Because she's very angry. She's very angry. Like, how do people live so angry? This is why I stay out of this kind of stuff. Because, I mean, I'm angry enough just over Prime Minister stuff, okay? I'm angry just over the Sankofa Square or whatever the fuck it's called. I'm angry over planning policy. But she, okay, I don't yell at people for these kind of things. I really don't. I might yell about some things, but I don't do this. This is next level. That guy bumped her, though. That's not right. That guy is going down. He's going to get assault.
Backwards in me. I was
going.
You moved backwards into me, he said. Well, you want to see the replay, bro? Because you fucking hip checked her. Look at this move. Watch his face, okay? Watch his face. He makes like a smirk while he's doing it. Look. He's like looking like, I'm going to do this, bro. Look at this fucking bitch is annoying. Watch this. Boom. With a smile on his face. See that? Little smile. Boom, bitch. This guy, she's smiling. She saw what he did. See her? She saw what he did. She's like, oh, no, you didn't. I'm already revved up. I don't need a reason to fuck you up, bro. And he's just like, watch, he said, you moved into me, which may kind of technically be true because she was backing up. He's like being interviewed by her, it seems. Okay. So he, off camera, being interviewed by her, the smiley lady. Okay, she's fucking freaking out. This guy looks like he's the guy from Rebel News, and he may very well be the guy from Rebel News. Who's this guy? I don't know, but he's for Palestine. That seems to be for certain. Or Italy. Okay, so she's backing up, which is true. Kind of hits him, and then he just fucking leans in with a hip check, and she is loving it. I wonder what they were talking about. All right, let's see this in full speed. Oh, God. This guy's like, what the fuck's going on over there? Why is she so mad? Aren't we just here to vote for the Prime Minister?
You're not human. Nobody here is a human being. All of you are terrorists.
Are you a Canadian?
All All of you are terrorists. All of you aren't human beings. How many of the people parked in the handicap spots do you think have a handicap pass? Okay, sorry. There's too much going on in this video for my feeble mind. Okay, there's way too much going on. Wow, did we lose a ton of people? Did we lose a ton of people? Well, that's okay. I mean, this isn't funny for everybody. It's a serious situation.
You have blood on your hands. All of you.
Oh, there it is. Sorry, I forgot about that. I was so like involved in her rage. I got wrapped up in her rage in a way that doesn't make me proud. Whatever the hell that even means.
All of you have blood on your hands. All
Boom.
of you.
All of these nice
Excuse
people are
me?
terrorists.
Why did you push me? Why did you push me?
He walks backwards into him.
I was
I was going
Oh, somebody else said you walked backwards into him. Okay.
back and you pushed me like this.
Is she married? Like, does her husband have to listen to this voice ever? Because I can't do it. She's a paid actor. I'm sure of it.
Oh, you walked into a man from the street.
There we go. Rebel News, I think. What's this guy?
Stop
Can I ask you a
it.
question?
Stop touching me.
So wasn't the Iran supposed to help the Palestinians? What happened
I
to
have
them?
nothing to do with Iran. I'm not Iranian. Free Palestine. Oh my goodness.
It's way too much. It's way too much to not be paid for. Okay? It's way too much to not be paid for. I mean, there is a lot on the line. So I don't get it. Is this a liberal rally? This is a conservative rally, right? This is a conservative voting station or something?
Free Canada from Zionism. Free Canada from Zionism. Free Canada from Zionism.
Free Canada from these fucking crazy Palestinians already. Like, honestly, what is wrong with these people? This is next level craziness, folks. Next level craziness. Okay, so what's happening here? What are people saying? Yes, bring your dog and lots of bacon sandwiches. What? Okay. As Pierre Poilievre inches closer to the Prime Minister's office. So I think this guy's saying that he thinks Poilievre is winning. Radical Muslims have taken it upon themselves to harass people waiting in line for his rallies. Okay, these are rallies. A parking lot barbecue may not be a bad idea. Deport them all. We need to win this election first. I want my country back. We had enough of this madness. The time for change is now. So it seems like these people are supportive of... Let's see, I got a call coming in. Hello? Hello? Are you there? God damn it. It says potential fraud. I was hoping for a funny bit, but I didn't get it. And for this, I apologize. I didn't get the funny bit I was hoping for. Oh, there's still lots of people here. This is fantastic. How are you all doing? Thank you so much for being here. Patrick Alexander. Hi. I've never seen your name. Randy Fink. Hello. Joel Anasia. Joel Anazia. Welcome to the show. Randy Fink. Guertzberg. Terry Ladassour. Nick Albert. Wow. Chris R. Is this Chris Rock? Is it Chris Rock? Speak before you can't. Paul Aubin. Where does Mark Carney pay his taxes? FDT. You are involved already. Donnie M says, hello, Frankforters. Wow. Look at all the people here. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. I can't even believe the support. To what do I deserve or owe this honor? James Roffle in the house. The awful James Roffle is here. And it is clear that he should call in right now. Right? Shouldn't he? Don't you think he should? Or WhatsApp in? Oh, Ben the Angry Architect. See, I got screwed up again. If you want to WhatsApp me or you want to call in, now would be the time. I'm not going to screw that up. I learned my lesson. Not going to screw that up. If you want to WhatsApp me, now would be a good time. Let's pull this down over here. There's the number if you want to call in. The awful James Roffle. Chris R. Nope, you're a whitey. Got it. Okay, not Chris Rock. That's okay. I mean, we still love you. and we thank you for being here. Let's see. What else is going on in Crazyville land at the moment? Let me see what else I have here that I wanted to share with you. Okay. Let's see. Okay. This is what this guy has to say. This genius banker is going to destroy Canada's economy. His spending plan is 70% more debt than Trudeau's. Holy shit. And he's using an accounting trick to hide the damage. Here's what Mark Carney is hoping you don't notice. Oh, God. Okay. Canada seems to be falling for the Liberals' new savior complex. They think Carney's a financial wizard because he ran the Bank of England. But look closer at the numbers. It's Liberal spending on steroids. Trudeau planned $131 billion in new debt. Carney's bumping that to $225 billion. Holy jumpin' Jehoshaphat. Let's see what this dude has to say, shall we?
All right, let's get back now to the Liberal campaign. CTV's Mike Couture is tracking the Liberals and joins me now from the campaign. Bas, Mike, good to see you this hour. Talk us through some of those highlights of Mark Carney's platform. Huge spendings that was announced today.
Yeah, I think you covered it right off the top there, Akshay. $130 billion in new spending and tax measures. I think that is the headline that a lot of people are looking at and taking away from this. Also, the fact that there is no path to balancing the budget. Now, he did say that, look, he's looking at the operational budget and looking at a surplus down the road in that. And he has been one of the first political leaders to really separate operational budget from the overall budget. That is something that we have seen in the past. There's also $5.4 billion in new spending over the next 5 years. It's going into...
Did this guy say anything? I feel like he didn't really say anything there. I didn't hear anything. I wasn't totally paying attention. That's not a typo. Carney will add $56 billion in deficit spending per year compared to Trudeau's $30 billion. The supposed responsible adult is spending way more than Trudeau ever did. He's using a classic shell game to hide it. Oh. The trick, Carney is splitting the budgets into operating and capital parts. Oh, shit. Like telling your bank, don't look at my mortgage, just check my daily spending. Oh, right. Okay. Any bank would laugh you out. Yet Canadians are buying this from a genius banker. Carney claims he'll balance the operating budget. Oh, I see. But he's going to hide half of the budget. Well, that seems like a fair move. That makes sense. I mean, it is accounting, and accounting is not really totally kosher, on every level. It's made to be manipulated, I believe. What else do we have? Let's check this out. Should we check this out? Let's check this out. And then I'm done, because I got to go. My throat's fucking bugging me. China, this is from CTV News. China says it wants to partner with Canada to push back against American bullying. Bullying? Oh, China, the puppet master of Carney. That's a good one. Let's see. Do we want to read this article? China says it wants to partner with Canada to push back against American bullying. China's ambassador to Canada, Wang Di, is pictured at the embassy of the People's Republic of China in Ottawa on April 21st, 2025. Ottawa. China's ambassador says Beijing is offering to form a partnership with Canada to push back against American bullying. That's like the fourth time I've said the same fucking sentence. Suggesting the two countries could rally other nations to stop Washington from undermining global rules. We want to avoid the situation where humanity is brought back to a world of the law of the jungle again, Chinese ambassador Wang Di told the Canadian press in a wide-ranging interview. China is Canada's opportunity, not Canada's threat, he said through the embassy's interpreter. Wang, whose office requested the interview with the Canadian press, I'm sure they did. Not because they wanted you to spread any propaganda for them, just because they think you are the best. Said that China and Canada appear to be the only countries taking concrete and real countermeasures against the unjustified U.S. tariffs imposed by U.S. President Donald Trump. We've taken notice that faced with, yes, China is trying to take advantage of us dumb fucks up here in Canada who are led by the puppet master Xi Jinping through his mouthpiece, the new Prime Minister Mark Carney. We're doomed, friends. We're absolutely doomed. And we're so doomed that I don't even want to do this anymore. Have a nice day. Adios.